just can't stay. I'll let you walk away. I know you just can't stay. I'll let you walk away. I know you just can't stay. I'll let you walk away. Out of my life, and now I see you walking every day, 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 every day. I know you just can't stay. I'll let you walk away. Like my life, now I see you walking every day, every day, every day. I see you go, now I see you walking. Oh, and I wish you'd never go.
Hello, my name's Ali Majid. I'm the Stoke-on-Trent sister candidate, and today I'm here with David Hibbert at the Plough Inn at one of his friend's 36th birthday parties. How are you today, Hibbert?
Very good, thank you.
Excellent, excellent. And how's your day been today? What have you been up to?
Been sleeping a lot of it today, if I'm honest. Been with my little boy and my wife, just been at home for most of the day, and then come out now for my mate's birthday.
Excellent. So it's just an average day in the life of David Hibbert then, eh?
Yeah, it's like an average weekend day, I suppose. Bank holiday today. We've not actually been out nowhere, I've just relaxed at home, watched a few films with Letlin and the wife, and like I say, now come out for my mate's 36th birthday, have a little meal, and I almost will be off home soon, put Letlin in bed, and then bath and bed myself.
Fantastic, fantastic. So you've been getting a lot of media attention recently. Why is that?
Well, I had cancer. I've been battling it for a few years, and last year I was told I was terminal. But in January this year I was given the all clear. I've had some amazing success for using cannabis oil, and I suppose that's really why I've had the media attention. You know, sort of just letting people know that if you've got cancer, there are other things out there that you can help you. You know, a doctor can't recommend these things, but something I took off my own back. I looked on the internet, seen if it helped others, and I've given it a go. And well, you know, I'm here now, cancer free. It's really helped me. I've had an operation in the middle, so it was not just all the cannabis oil, but without it, I don't think I'd be cancer free now. And even the doctors recognise and tell me to continue doing what I'm doing.
So what would your message be to other people out there who have got cancer? How do you reckon they should go about treating themselves?
Well, first and foremost, you've got to listen to your doctor. No one can ever be able to say otherwise. But listen to what their supposedly outcome is, their prognosis. If you're not happy, remember you can go get a second and third opinion, as I did. And like I say, there is stuff out there on the internet, like I say, cannabis oil and a few other things. They have been untrialled, but there has been certain success with people. And ideally, I'd like there to be some more research, but if someone feels comfortable enough in trying these things, I do feel they should be allowed to do so. It's not nothing that should ever be pushed on somebody, but if they want to try it, then you know, if it should be allowed, really. I can't see what the problem is why if they actually aren't.
What made you decide to choose cannabis oil rather than all the other options that were given to you?
Cannabis oil, when I looked on the internet, had a lot more research done into it. Very, very little in humans, but at least a lot more lab-based research. There was research in London, in Madrid, at East Anglia University. Even on the cancer research website, you know, if you even say that if you did some trials back in the 70s and had reasonable success. So I'm thinking, well, I had nothing to lose. I was told I was terminal, and that seemed the best option for me. So that's what I did.
So you decided to take it onto your own hands and use cannabis oil, and you had some amazing results, right? I mean, it's helped you get to here. What helped you the most, like? So what side effects was the cannabis counteracting?
When I very first started taking cannabis oil, I was taking it alongside chemotherapy. I was taking tiny drops. And it helped with sickness. You know, I was feeling sick all the time, and that sort of subsided. It didn't go completely, but it subsided. My appetite was really poor. Within a day or two, that really increased. You know, I started eating out a lot more. Chemotherapy makes you feel really tired. I couldn't sleep either, which is a bit weird. And like I said, cannabis oil again, it helped me get some sleep. It made me feel so much better. I had symptoms in my hands and my feet from a previous chemotherapy, which I was told I was going to have for the rest of my life. It's like pins and needles feeling. Within a week or two, maybe even less than that, taking this oil, it pretty much gone. And that helped give me the confidence to think, well, if it's doing all this for me, then maybe it could help me against the cancer. And the chemo was making me bad, even though the oil had started to make me feel better. I just come to a point where I know I needed to survive. The doctors were telling me if I had the chemo, eventually that's going to either kill me or stop working. So I saw no choice. I tried this, didn't know it was going to work. I was confident that something would work for me. I didn't specifically know it was the oil, but I did it, and it's helped me a lot. And I just want other people to know it could help them too. And I would just absolutely love for more research being done into it, because that's ultimately what we need. And then, then it's there on paper if it helps or not. And then if it's just against the chemotherapy effects, or if it can help against the cancer as well, either or, it can help. If you can do both, then it's amazing.
So where did you get your oil from, and how was it made, and what was the process that went into that?
I made a lot of it myself at the beginning. I was just buying bud from absolutely everywhere. Some bud came from Manchester, but most of it from Stoke-on-Trent. Just various people I knew around Stoke-on-Trent. I'd get an ounce off whoever I come. I'd usually mix the bud together and then just make the oil with it. As time went on, I did meet a few people around Stoke, and one particular person who I started talking to about oil, he goes, "I've got some of that at home." I was like, "Have you really?" And then I got talking to him, and he then became the person who supplied me throughout the most part of the journey.
So is someone local that you met who you got talking to about oil, and they started then supplying you, yeah?
Yeah. He uses the whole plant, bud and leaf, not just for bud, the whole plant. He uses 99.9% solvent, isopropyl, which I'm now getting mixed feedback about, but I don't know. I can only tell you what has happened with me and what has helped me. The oil's pretty thick substance. You just put a little drop under your mouth. It'll take a while to absorb a gram, but little drops go pretty quickly. Also got some oil from a guy in Spain. I think I had 20 mils off him. His oil's a little bit different. Tastes different than any oil I've had. But he says his solvent is better than this isopropyl. Again, I don't know. The most oil I had came from Stoke-on-Trent. Made some myself, which really came from Stoke-on-Trent. And then there was 20 mil out of about 200, which I did purchase from a guy who makes some in Spain.
Would you say the best option to get cannabis to make oil would be to make your own?
Most definitely. Since going public and my story being in the media, these people who make oil, I don't get them really, to be fair. Everyone seems to be like, I want David sort of promoting my oil, or as soon as I do a video for someone like today, all of a sudden I'm promoting someone else's oil, and I'm scratching my head at home, looking at my computer at some of these comments, thinking, what on earth are they going on about? Best advice, seriously, is make your own. Don't get off no one else. And if you do come forward, which people need you to do, and if it helps you, just be careful who you speak to and try not get involved with anyone else that sells oil, because they'll do your head in.
There's a lot of criminals involved in it. Obviously there's a lot of money involved in it, and because it's one of those unknown substances that is illegal, a lot of people are getting scammed. What we're trying to do is educate people and help them find out on the best way to make their own oil, and the best way to treat themselves. Obviously there's other illnesses as well that cannabis can help with, epilepsy, arthritis, even MS. At the moment, GW Pharmaceuticals is producing 10 tons of cannabis a year in England for Sativex. What would you have to say about the legal factors when somebody with terminal illness or a certain illness is trying to produce their own cannabis and is labelled a criminal? What do you have to say to that?
well, it's just ridiculous, isn't it? How could a terminal cancer patient be told they're a criminal for trying just to have something that's going to make them feel a little bit better? It's just absolutely crazy. It just does not make any sense at all. The law needs to recognise that, cancer patients are taking this oil, and they should be allowed to do so. It's something that they're taking to make themselves feel better, where the high is actually a side effect. So if the high was the main goal, then yes, that's a problem. That's someone taking it for recreational reasons. But it's not. If you just feel poorly and want to feel a little bit better, to be a criminal, I don't know. It annoys me now. I find it extremely frustrating. The government needs to look at it. If they really do.
You did go to the police and you did actually have an interview, didn't you? What happened in there? What was the outcome to that interview?
The police officer was very sympathetic to what was going on, and she did tell me, they don't make the laws. So she basically said to get a bylaw, apply for a bylaw. I was told if I ever got arrested for using cannabis oil, it'd never get to court anyway, because as soon as CPS find out it's for medicinal use, if you wouldn't want that in court, it's going to make them look pretty bad. So it'd never happen. I even asked her to arrest me, and she says, well, no, you won't go in court, so the judge ain't going to be able to, because the judge, apparently, if it got in court, because actually got the power to change the law then, or use this case as a precedent for future cases. But she said it'll never get into court. Applied for this bylaw, which I've got a petition online now on change.org, cannabis bylaw for terminal cancer patients. And hopefully get 10,000 signatures with that, send it off to Mr. Cameron, the Criminal Defence Justice Agency, because they need to look at it. I mean, I'm a guy, I've just overcome terminal cancer, I've been in the media, and I shouldn't really need to be doing all this. The government just should recognise, yes, it can help some people, maybe not all, it can help some, so let's get some trials in motion, let's get this available to them. Not let's try and hide it, let's push them to drug dealers, push them to scammers, let's help the people that need help in our country.
As soon as we legalise it, we'll be able to stop drug dealers from operating within our local areas and stop them from contaminating cannabis. See, a lot of the cannabis that says giving these unwanted medical side effects is the contaminated cannabis. Have you ever come across any contaminated cannabis yourself at all?
It's cannabis that's not flushed properly. It's still got chemicals inside it. It's not something you're going to be wanting using. I mean, someone who smokes it recreational ain't going to want to smoke it. But someone who's using it for medicine as well, thinking that these chemicals could actually be getting into the oil, it's really, really worrying. And it's not just that, there's people that are diluting oils as well. And it's disgusting thinking that these are going to, terminal people. It needs to stop, man. And like you say, legalising it for medical use is the way to go.
Excellent. So the message is to produce your own oil and have a look at other methods of treatment besides from chemotherapy. You have to listen to your doctor, but look at other methods as well. David, Heather and Ashton. Are we all okay here?
Yes.
Yeah. Excellent. So we're here at your friends and family's birthday party. I want to talk a bit about David's story and yourself. What was your first reaction when you found out that David was actually diagnosed with cancer?
I think I might have been in a bit of denial at the time, because it was quite a bit of a shock. So we did. I think I was in denial and just no.
So what point did you actually think that David's health was deteriorating and you actually thinking that he actually is ill? Was there a point where you thought?
It was not long after he got diagnosed, because when we went to go see the doctors and things like that, and they informed us even more, then it was a proper, and when he started his treatment, then it sunk in even more, going to the hospital and things like that.
I'm sure it was very hard for you to cope with it all, like being how long were you both seeing each other for, like?
It was about 3 years. Yeah, we'd been together for about 3 years.
Been together for about 3 years and then David was diagnosed. Okay, and at that point, did you just had a child?
Yeah, and he was just over. He'd not long just celebrated his second birthday, just after his second birthday. And he got diagnosed a few months later.
So we've been together
Yeah, 3 years.
3 years,
Just
yeah,
over 3 years.
Born a year after we were.
So with the side effects, how did you cope with them?
Don't think I coped very well, to be honest. It was very, very hard because sometimes he wouldn't eat. Trying to get him to eat was hard, and trying to get him at least out of bed and come downstairs. It was hard. And plus, looking after Littlin as well, it was very, very hard and stressful.
Obviously, the woman of the house handles most of the work, doesn't she? Like, and
Nice.
and what about when David started using cannabis? What was your reaction to that? Did you believe in it at first at all?
No, I supported him, but I didn't want him to take it. I didn't want him to do it. But then I saw the transformation. I was like, just carry on. Just keep me out of it, just carry on. Just...
So once you saw that it was actually helping him, you were actually supportive of it and his use of cannabis oil for his treatment?
Yeah. I just told him just keep me out of it. What as little as I know, that's fine. As long as it gets him better.
Excellent. Because, like, doctors only told him he had so long, and what was your reaction to that?
Again, shock. I don't think we stopped crying, did we?
Not for a while, no.
No, it was... And then obviously we had to tell family and friends, and
That's a bit odd.
it was very... Yeah. It was very hard.
Especially like, my mum. Yeah. So how would you tell your mum something like that? It's your mum. Obviously my mum's heartbroken. Any parent to go through something like that, I couldn't imagine it. I wouldn't even want to dream if something happened to my little boy. So, it's really hard time, wasn't it, for us? It's nice for the family and friends with who supported us, but this one here has had most of the pressure on his shoulders, looking after me every day, looking after Ashton every day, and
Try and go work as well.
people keep on saying, "Oh, I'm a hero and I've got through this," but without Heather, I wouldn't have done. So she's the real hero, but she just keeps out of the limelight.
Definitely, I'd say to all those women out there, or just partners, whether it's you're women or male, you should definitely support your partner, whether it's through thick and thin. And then when law comes into the issue, how did you feel about David having to break the law in order to treat himself?
Like I said, I didn't like it, but sometimes rules have to be broken, and just if it helped him, so.
Are you lawbreakers? Have you ever broken any laws before?
No, I'm not.
I've not been innocent all my life. I've never been like a bad boy or anything. I think I stopped being in police once, I think, when I was a lot younger. But heavy, completely, dead straight laced. And well, no, like I say, besides that one incident with myself many years ago, and I've never really got in trouble.
So you're not criminals. You're ordinary people that. It's safe to say that because of cannabis, you're here now laughing and joking a year on from when a year ago you didn't know what was happening. And what do you feel that, and how do you reckon the transition between last year and now is?
In the space of a few months, it was a massive transformation. It was really big, and then to get the news in January that he was clear for the first time, because otherwise. Because if it was going to come back, it would have come back straight away. And for it to be as long as it has, with him just doing the oil, it's unbelievable. It's just it's just one of them. It's not, you can't describe. No, it's mad. It's how it's.
Sounds like you're searching for the word miracle.
Yeah, I suppose.
Well, to be told. Potentially only got 6 months to live if you stopped the treatment, and 12 months later to be without actual cancer. How can you describe that? It's crazy, man. Such a low to such a high,
in a short space of time.
Yeah, it's not.
How do you feel about all the media attention that you're getting recently?
I try to stay out of it.
Well, like David says, you're actually the main hero here. Like, you're the one who supported him. You're the one, like, all those women out there who are out there with their partners, fighting and struggling, whether they got cancer or any other illness from arthritis to MS, and you got all these elderly people struggling as well. I mean, what would your message be to them, and when it comes to cannabis?
I'd tell them to stay strong, because we had our ups and downs. There was a few times where we could have split up, because it was that hard. Stay strong, and if you do want to try it, I'm not forcing anyone. I'm not saying you need to try it, but if anyone wants to try it, then it's up to them. But I just don't know. It's up to the person if they want to try. Because I know a few people are still set in their ways with hospitals, and that's absolutely fine. Because I'm still the same. But if they would want to try it, then that is totally up to them. It's their mind. If they want to go down that route to help, then.
And how did you feel that in order to get cannabis, David had to actually go into the black market to actually first find his medicine?
I didn't know nothing. I just let him do it. As little as I knew, that was fine by me. He managed to get what he needed to get, and so I just kind of kept back away from that at first.
It's very sceptical as well. I mean, even I didn't know if cannabis would work, and Heather even more so didn't think it was going to work. And obviously, when I stopped my treatment, nobody wanted me to do that. It's a big risk I took on my part, but. If I hadn't have done that, I think everyone realises now it's the best decision I've ever made, and it was a brave decision. It might not have gone that way, but it has, and I'm just glad that I did do that now. And it frustrates me that that something like this has helped me, and I'm having to try and get my story out. Well, I shouldn't need to do this. As I said to you earlier, the doctors and the government should be recognising how it's helped people, and they should be doing this. It's disgusting that they're not, and that they ignore it. And like I say, the more people like me that do come forward to say it's helped, hopefully, eventually, they will start to take note and help these people that that want to help.
It's a shame that having gone through all this struggle, finding a cure, a treatment for yourself, and then again, the government not recognising it, all this media coverage that we're trying to get, a lot of stuff isn't even getting put out. I mean, just because it's related to cannabis, it seems like there's higher powers out there or something that don't want this out there. What do you have to say to that? Have you ever been, have any of your materials been blocked from going out or anything like that?
Every journalist I've spoken to has been really sympathetic to the cause and thinks, well, yeah, gosh, something does really need to be done about this. But they have said themselves, as far as putting it on tally, if you don't know what they can do, because cannabis is seen as an illegal drug. I even contacted Jeremy Hunt, a health minister, sent me an email saying cannabis has no medicinal value, yet we sell Sativex, so contradicted himself straight away. And it's just absolutely crazy, and it can't go on like this. It's pathetic.
Well, I want to urge people to go onto David's Facebook page, sign his bylaw, spread the message, spread the word, educate yourself, and help people around you. If you can't grow yourself, grow for your neighbour, get someone to grow for you, look into the availability that is out there, ask grow shops for a bit of info. We're not saying cannabis is the only option, but if you got no other option there, you should be able to have that choice. My name's Ali Majid. I'm here reporting for CanMed. Thank you very much. Rob, it's Rob's 36th, I believe. Is it not?
Yeah, 36 years young today, yeah.
Excellent. And you have here with you, is it your mother, yeah?
It's my mum.
Yes.
Hi there. So I've heard that you've had a bit of a battle with cancer yourself.
Yes, I have twice. Yeah. Yeah, bowel cancer, breast cancer. Yeah,
And how did you deal with that? What sort of treatments did you go through?
chemo with the bowel cancer, radium with the other one, but it's not nice. Not nice at all. No, I wished I could have done what Dave did with his cannabis oil, but I didn't know about it then. Nobody talked about anything like that.
So if you would have known about cannabis oil, do you reckon you would have taken it and used it? Yeah.
Definitely.
Would you reckon it was a lot better than what you were doing at the time?
The side effects, yes. Yeah, because Dave had no side effects with the cannabis oil.
What were the side effects that you were getting?
Sickness, horrible fat, really growing fatter and fatter because they have to give you stuff with it and it makes you fat. So, yeah, I just horrible. It was horrible. I looked horrible, didn't I? I just couldn't cope with it really. But I did. I had to go one day at a time. But if I'd had what Dave had, I perhaps would have gone through it more serene, more happy. But it was just all illegal. Because you used to take cannabis, hadn't you?
Yeah.
Smoke cannabis. But he had a lot of issues with it.
Yeah. I mean, I was a recreational user just solely for the years of my youth. I used it for a buzz. I used it for a laugh. Never caused me any real problems. Probably a little bit.
Paranoia.
Yeah, that's why I stopped smoking it. But that's a whole separate issue. But
But I've seen the effects now because I was so against it with him,
yeah,
growing up with it. But I've seen so much with Dave and the cannabis oil that I would have actually made it for him because it needs to be legalised because I've seen what it can do.
So how do you feel about the law and when people are terminally ill and...
It's disgusting that people can't actually go and get it because it's mixed with so many different things. The people who were selling it are mixing it with horrible stuff. Now Dave has been doing it himself and making it himself with the help of different people. And same as I say, I would have made it with him. I wouldn't have cared about the law. But the law's an ass, as far as I'm concerned.
it's true.
Because if it can help, like you were seeing with Dave, he was dying this time last year. They didn't give him enough chance to get married. They gave him 12 months, 6 to 12 months, and he thought, well, sod it all, try it. And it's worked for him. So if it's worked for him, it's going to work for other people. But it needs more research. But it needs to be legalised. It really, truly does.
At the minimum, my personal point of view, legalised second, decriminalised first, and decriminalised mostly for the people who suffer the most.
Yeah.
Whether that be terminal cancer patients, whether that be anybody with epilepsy, whether that be anybody with muscular dystrophy, all the other different disorders that you hear about, any pain that affects your life, that ruins your day, if they can self-medicate with something that is grown from this planet, grown naturally, no ifs, buts or maybes, if they can make their life better from something that they can grow themselves, then why is it not legal? Why? There's no answer to that question.
It's a herb, isn't it?
It's
just a herb.
solely for the purposes of people that need it in their life to make their life a better place to be. What's life all about? It's about being happy. It's about being
If you lived in
able to
another
live.
country where it was classed as a herb, and they take it and dance around, don't they?
Yeah, exactly.
Because it's a herb.
Yeah.
And it's grown in the ground. It's not messed with. It's just a herb.
It is what it is, yeah.
But in this country, it's classed like that because they say they use cannabis and move on. Only because it's been mixed with something that makes them move on to something that's stronger. He didn't.
No.
And he smoked cannabis like I don't know what. You know what I mean? He was paranoid with it, but he never moved on because the stuff he was having wasn't really. It was cannabis.
Yeah,
It wasn't.
I suppose recreational, each different person's different, you know, it depends on who you're with, it depends on your lifestyle, depends on what you've done before, what you do after, yeah. I mean, their issues separate, I think, gateway drugs and all that lot. I think alcohol's the biggest one. I like a drink, but I like a drink socially. I'm not a wreckhead, I don't get hammered all the time. I like social things that make my life better from being social.
What I don't like is it's criminalised to people who, like Dave, who cannot use it because there's ABC.
Yeah.
It's illegal, but still, he's used it, and it saved his life. What would you do if it was your friends?
Yeah, exactly.
Would you make it if I said to you, Luke, come on?
In a heartbeat.
Exactly. So the message here is just go out there, look for the cure,
Yeah.
educate yourself,
Yeah.
and look at the stories around you, such as David Hibberts. I mean, he's a local lad. Yeah, exactly. There's so many people out there that can't even come out public. There's children that are using it right now, and their parents can't even come out, because if they did come out and go public, they'd get their children taken away from them.
That's right.
And it's all because of the legal issues, and it is ridiculous. And what we're trying to do is help accelerate this process of legalization, because all over the world it already is becoming legalized.
That's right. What if they found out the sage did the same thing?
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? Coriander.
Yeah, yeah.
They found coriander cured this, that, and the other.
Yeah.
Would they illegalise that because it made him go fit funny?
Exactly.
No,
yeah,
ridiculous.
Well, you got stuff like methadone and codeine available
Yeah.
on
Side
prescription.
effects as long as you're on.
Legalise.
Yeah, legal highs that are killing young youth children, getting young as 13, 10-year-olds smoking, taking pills.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anything is available over the counter, from cocaine to ecstasy, and even synthetic cannabis, which is dangerous compared to the actual real original cannabis that you can grow yourself.
Sativex.
Well, no, the legal highs, but Sativex as well. GW Pharmaceuticals, 10,000 tons of cannabis they make.
And people making
Yeah.
millions out of it.
Yeah, exactly. When if we grew it ourselves as ill patients, we'd be criminals.
That's right.
That's ridiculous, isn't it?
Very, very wrong. Yeah.
Very wrong on every single level. And the only thing behind that, the one thing that is just most disgusting more than anything, is it's driven by money. It's not driven by caring. It's not driven by a need or want to help anybody. It's just driven solely by greed.
Well, I think a lot
And
of
that
it
is why it is wrong.
When I was on chemo, I mean, it made you bad, didn't it? It
Yeah,
made Emma
it's
bad.
horrible, yeah.
I think he actually smoked more
No, it
because
made me bad.
because it made him ill. Because it made me ill, and I look like a walking corpse, like Dave did. But that's chemo; it's poison. If there's a side effect that's growing in the ground, you're gonna, I don't know, you're gonna have it, aren't you? You're gonna have.
Try if you've got a death sentence hanging over your head, what are you going to do? You're not going to care about criminalising yourself. You don't care. You just want to live some more for your family, your friends, whoever. You know, whether people have got families or
side
not.
effects now of chemo, and I've got arthritis bad.
You take tamoxifen
I
as well.
take
don't you?
tamoxifen. Yeah, that's side effects horrible. Because I'm going through the menopause all over again. And that's twice I've been through it now. So no, it's not very nice. So if I could have had what he's had, then definitely
Yeah.
I'd do it tomorrow.
No, no.
And it should be legalised. Definitely should be legalised.
So what we're trying to do is just educate everyone.
Yeah.
Please go out there, look at what you can do.
Yeah. Please look at what he can do, and look at somebody like Dave. I would have given him 5 minutes last year. This time last year for his birthday, his colour was awful. He looked horrible, and me and my daughter said, "He ain't gonna make it. He ain't gonna make it." And then Robert was saying that he's making this cannabis oil, and I said no. I was very sceptical about it. Well, you are.
You are, yeah.
I thought, no. I said, what effect does it have? And he says, well, he just believes it'll save his life, Mum. And lo and behold, it has. And his cancer's gone.
I think a lot of with healing is believing that something can work. And if you believe something strong enough, and if you got that willpower to make it work, it will work.
Or
Yeah.
does it just work? Because it is cannabis, it is a root.
Yeah.
It's a vegetable that you can grow in the ground. Does it work? It's been here long before man. So, you know, probably because it is an herb and it does work. And there's always been a cure on this earth for cancer. But they can make
they want to share it or not.
millions and millions of pounds they're making that nobody else can make because they decriminalised it.
So Rob, what was your first thought when you found out that David had cancer and he's treating himself with cannabis oil?
So it's the most, well, you know, apart from the side that I've known my mother and countless other people that have gone through cancer, it's too many people to mention. But Dave, he's my best mate, and it hit home hard, and you keep a positive mental attitude, like you said before. You try and stay positive, not just for them. Then you hear from a very good friend of mine, I won't mention names, but me and Dave literally at the same time heard about a guy doing things with cannabis and making the oil, and he just said, you know, let's give it a go. Why not? I've been told I've got so long to live. My reaction first was, why not? That is my reaction to anything that's going to save your life. If you've got a death sentence over hanging over your head, if that means your life is going to end, there is anything that you will do. He's got a family. He's got, you know, he wanted to get married. He got at the time he wanted to get married. He is married now, you know, only because he took cannabis oil and he took it in the right medications, the right dosages, the right levels of what he ever needed. He did his research. He's a clever, clued up lad. He's not an idiot. He saved his own life. In my book, he saved his own life. Thank God I could.
With the help of friends.
With the help of friends, he's been able to save his own life. And if this is just one story, if this is just one thing that can be noticed, that can be put out there to anybody, to ever witness, to ever see, to just understand that this stuff works. It works on a fundamental level. It's natural. It heals pain. It cures things. The research, yes, does need to be done. It needs to be done on a level that is never known. This world has never known. If there's something there that can cure people of this horrific illness, why isn't the research being done? There is no answer to that apart from greed. There is absolutely no answer to that apart from greed, and that is it. First and foremost, and that's it. So me, personally, this message needs to be learned, it needs to be spread amongst people that not only suffer, families that suffer, it needs to be put out there for the general population to try to understand why this research isn't being done, for the stigma to be broken. Stigma, it can, the families and everything do go through, kids taking it, kids smoking it, everything, if they go through problems from that, then fair play, they're going to have a bad attitude towards it. But that bad attitude shouldn't stop the way people think. It shouldn't stop the progression. It shouldn't stop what this world is trying to achieve,
No, the journey we've been through with Dave, I haven't been through it like you have, he's your friend, but,
No.
The journey that he's travelled from being so sick and so ill to looking like he does now, 'cause he looks like a bloody Red Indian, he looks so well. But he was great. He was absolutely great. He was horrible colour. Well, he should have died, shouldn't he?
I felt like I was doing, to be
Well,
honest.
He did. It looked like he was dying. He was horrible.
He looks amazing now, and you can't tell that he even had. Yeah, he's probably run faster than me right now. But you look amazing, David, and I love the fact that you're here with your friends and family, and you're enjoying life, and you're spreading the message. And we here at CanMed want to help everyone spread the message and teach them to go out there, grow your own medicine. Don't have to listen to all the media and stigma behind it. Look at the evidence that's in front of yourself, such as David Hibbett. This guy is just one person. The amount of people there are, I'm sure there's thousands of people out there undercover that can't even come out because of the stigma.
Yeah.
And we want to be able to give them all a voice, get out there. I want to say to the police, please don't target medical users.
No.
There's a difference. There's a big difference between drug dealers and medical users of cannabis, and there's a big difference between contaminated cannabis that is unhealthy for you and cannabis that is healthy for you, and that's natural. We want to just help push this message out, and thank you, David, thank you, Rob, thank you, Lucy, for having us all here and sharing your story. It's amazing, and the fact that you've battled through cancer yourself.
Yeah,
And
we're just glad we still got him.
yeah, exactly.
We can't help it, he's ugly, but we can.
We can't change everything, can we?
But we just got him. That's all that matters, isn't it? Really, and that's through cannabis.
It's amazing, to have you all here laughing and joking and enjoying life, and a part of that reason is due to cannabis.
Yeah.
And
It's a pity you couldn't have seen him that day and today,
Yeah.
wow, yeah.
a 12-month on, because you wouldn't have given him that 12 months. You wouldn't
Sure.
have given him that 12 months. He looked
So
horrible.
David, you got pictures on your Facebook? What's your Facebook?
Well, under my name, David Hibbett, HRBBITT. I've also got the cannabis bylaw for terminal cancer patients. There's some photos on my personal Facebook profile. It's completely open profile. Anyone can go and look. You can even comment without being my friend. If you look through my photos, you'll see what I was like 12 months ago, and you see what I'm like now. Well, you can actually see in the photographs what I was like just a few months after. The difference is unreal, man. Give it a look if you've not seen it.
I'll second that. I'll second that.
And me.
Excellent, yeah. And me, I'd say that as well. Get on David Hibbett's Facebook.
And there's thousands out there.
There are a lot of
And
scammers
that's
out there.
what's doing it.
Just what we want to say, everyone grow their own oil. Grow their own oil and don't deal with drug dealers, because they're all out there for profit. Even the
exactly.
pharmaceutical companies are big scale drug dealers, you know what I mean? So watch out for pharmaceutical companies, do your own research.
Well, you got an honest guy like him, you'd give it away.
Yeah.
And you get people knocking him because they're thinking he's selling it.
Yeah, but this isn't about that, Bub.
Oh, went Oh,
It's not a problem.
I don't care. I want a drink. I told you. Don't interview me when I've had a drink.
That's alright, that's alright. It's not a problem. It's all fun and jokes here. I mean, we're here living life, enjoying life, and that's what it's about. We're not no big corporate company trying to force a way of life or way of thinking on anyone. You know what I mean? We're just trying to show them that this is the evidence around you. These people are living amongst us. This is a story from Stoke-on-Trent, from oil that was made in Stoke-on-Trent.
Yeah, it's
You
a
know what I
medical,
mean?
it's done to him anyway.
Yeah, exactly. Get out there, do your research. David Hibbert, by law, please sign it, and check out CanMed. Check out all the posts that are putting up. You got other organisations around the local area. Get out your local grow shop. That's the best place to learn how to grow. The actual cannabis plant is quite similar to tomatoes, so if you apply the same laws onto tomato from tomato plants, it is the same process pretty much. We shall be releasing videos later on how to make oil. Hopefully David will be showing you his method and what he does. Obviously everyone has their own method, but this is what worked for him, and we want to inform the public and just share the information and the knowledge. And cannabis is a subject that needs to be self-taught on. There's not going to be a course that you can go on, or the government's not going to give you some sort of curriculum to follow. It is something that you need to be self-taught on, so get out there, gain your knowledge. This is David Hibbert with Rob and Lucy and myself, Ali Majid. Thank you very much.
Walk away.